If Earth in the past was abundant with billions of human lives, capable of worldwide trade, communications, accomplishing informational and technical advancements similar to today, then why has this knowledge not been passed on? Why the sudden break in human evolution that makes our past such an unknown secret? As additional clues are acquired, many of the gaps identified throughout human history begin to cluster, and a pattern emerges. A pattern that suggests that human advancement took place far differently than we believed. The concern, however, is not what technologies and knowledge these ancient civilizations possessed, but what happened to it.
As time continued, all the technology and knowledge that made up our incredible world today would become legend. Even photos themselves, showcasing such monumental feats, would decay and disappear in only a few hundred years. So what would we leave behind? The same thing that we find today from ancients that came before us, stone ruins and structures that could stand the test of time. There is overwhelming evidence that this is exactly what happened.
The question becomes, if this reoccurring cyclic event or events had effectively eliminated a great majority of life on Earth throughout the last 10,000 years, then what could have caused it? Based on geological research, there does not appear to be evidence of a recent asteroid strike that would be capable of inflicting such devastation. But there are clues that something took place. Evidence that could explain these cyclic gaps in human history.
One man seemed to believe so, one of the most well-known and respected scientists in modern history, Albert Einstein.
One can hardly doubt that significant shifts of the crust have taken place repeatedly and within a short time. In a polar region, there is a continual deposition of ice, which is not symmetrically distributed about the pole. The Earth's rotation acts on these unsymmetrically deposited masses and produces centrifugal momentum that is transmitted to the rigid crust of the Earth. The constantly increasing centrifugal momentum produced in this way will, when it has reached a certain point, produce a movement of the Earth's crust over the rest of the Earth's body, and this will displace the polar regions toward the equator.
In addition, other well-known, respected individuals, including Mother Shipton, Nostradamus, Edgar Cayce, Saint Malachi, and more, have not all only provided warnings that a worldwide catastrophe was coming, but many specifically referred to a pole shift.
The shift will occur around the closing of the century, and will be as abrupt as to be within a 6 to 10 hour period. Continents as you know them now will cease to exist or change dramatically.
When a new cycle begins, there will be the shifting then of the poles, so that where there has been those of a frigid or the semi-tropical will become the more tropical, and moss and fern will grow.
Of course, many individuals today state that it's easy to make a prediction or provide warnings of a devastating future when those individuals knew they were no longer going to be around when the event would occur. But isn't it odd that all throughout history, in records spanning thousands of years from vastly different cultures and periods, there exists a common message, a common warning for the future, and they all refer to the same period, right around now.
According to the Mayan calendar, the current age was defined precisely to have begun on August 11th, 3114 BC, and ending on December 21st, 2012 AD. Most researchers agree that the Mayan calendar was accurately built upon these planetary and galactic cycles, but that the long count cycle that defined one evolution around the galactic equinox will simply repeat forever without end. To a certain extent, researchers are absolutely correct. The Mayan calendar is designed to repeat forever, accurately portraying the cyclic nature of Earth and our solar system. But the makers of this ingenious calendar system, the Mayans themselves, would disagree with modern researchers regarding one aspect. Ancient Mayan records clearly provide warning to future civilizations. By stating the end of the long-count galactic cycle in the early 21st century will mark the end of an age in which global catastrophes will begin. They referred to the next cycle as the fifth cycle and the period of purification.
We know that the Mayans were geniuses when it came to mathematics and accurately defining planetary and galactic cycles. But they weren't the only ones that left warnings to future generations. The Aztecs, Incas, and Egyptian calendars and legends all nervously point to the same time for the ending of the age of man. When studying ancient warnings, one would find it difficult to overlook writings from the Bible, which shockingly provide warnings of a worldwide devastation and also hint to a pole shift occurring, described as taking place before what most people refer to as Armageddon, a worldwide war for resources and survival.
There was a great earthquake, and the sun became black, and the moon became as blood. Every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and there were voices and thunderings and lightnings. There followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. There should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Computer simulations utilizing the collection of knowledge we have amassed through decades of galactic models and satellite data tells us that our solar system will definitely begin passing through the galactic plane in the very near future. The most severe effects that will cause worldwide devastation and a pole shift are most likely to occur beginning sometime between the years 2008 and 2015. We are living in a very interesting time. The future is beginning to unfold right before our eyes, and the conclusion to an age-old question is on the verge of presenting itself. There are over 6 billion people that live in the world today, and despite our differences in beliefs and cultures, we are all in this together. We are all seeking the same answers to life, and we will all experience the same future. But knowing what's coming over the horizon is only the beginning. Understanding why truly is the key to the meaning of life itself and offers real hope to an unsuspecting world. As with any new discovery, great resistance is expected, and there will be those that blatantly discredit the information you have learned today, whether it be from denial, fear, or even one's true belief that nothing will happen. But the truth is there, right in front of you, a truth that more researchers, scientists, and individuals are uncovering with each passing day. Open your eyes and look over the horizon, and you'll see it too. I'm Brent Miller, and this is the Horizon Project.